Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M4A3E8 Thunderbolt VII. It's a tier 6 American premium medium tank. Oh, big mouthful to say that. It's located on the northeast corner of Arctic region and it's under the command of D3al3r. Now this is the tank that was made famous by Lieutenant Colonel Abrams, who was the commander of the 37th Tank Battalion at the time, but later became the Army Chief of Staff and is the guy who the Abrams M1A1 tank was named after. Game on! Well, what makes this so different from any other EZ8 is the applique armour that you can see on the front of the vehicle, the sides, and on the front of the sides of the turret as well. It's got 123.5mm of armour on the front, which makes it a tough nut to get through, especially if he angles the front. And in fact, there's very few weak spots, just that machine gun and basically the roof of the vehicle, because there is a cupola there. And yes, as you know, American tanks and cupolas, they are the weak spot. It's got a 76mm main gun. It's capable of doing 115 alpha, 128mm pen with standard AP. With the premium APCR, it's 177mm, and it's got 10 degrees of gun depression. He spotted an opponent. It's a P43 Biz. He doesn't pen him with the first shot, and remember that guy could have a 90mm gun. He's trying to nail him. I think he got a hit with at least one. He's trying to use his gun depression on that guy. Ooh, now that was a 90mm round, and looks like the Arty is trying to have a go at this as well. Yeah, we just blocked a 90mm, bounced off the front armour. There you go. Okay, so he's trying to get shots on this guy without this guy getting any return fire. But as I said, this armour is very well angled, and yes, even the T-34 shielded is bouncing rounds off. And that's a 76mm round that's been fired from the back there. We can't see him yet, but there is a T-34 shielded out there. There's also a T-34-85M just around the corner, and he's got an 85mm gun. But looks like the Arty is having a good go at him, so we'll keep him at it. They just lost the BK-3001H, but that P43 Biz is still there. And they've just lost their Skoda T24. Now, our Panzerfahr Ausführung H is, I think he's gone a bit too deep there. And we pump around into the T34 shielded. Yes, our Panzerfahr is getting torn to shreds. And he does go down, but not before he killed the P43 Biz. And Arty is firing at us again. And he only stunned us this time, but we're pumping rounds into that T34. Just missed him on that one. Another Arty round comes in. The enemy Arty is an M44 and an M41 HMC. They just lost the T-34 shielded to our Skoda T25, and now we're going to go round and deal with this T-34-85M. Oh, he hits us with the tracks because we were angled, and he's now marked the T-34, gives him a ram. Takes a 56 hit points, but he's punching these 76mm rounds into the guy. And he goes down to the Skoda again. But we get hit with an 85mm round from an Su-85 down to the south. So, looks like we've managed to claim this corner of the map, but I think that Su-85 is going to be a major problem. Okay, it's tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks. We just saw a KV-222 headed around. Skoda's gone up high to have a quick look. I think we're going to try and get a shot on this Su-85. He's running away. Oh, that was a good one. That caught his rear. He's a one-shot now. He didn't pen there. Oh, well, that was a good hit. That was a solid hit there, right in. And now we've got an A20 who's running away as well. Just missed him. Lost sight of the A20, but I don't know if you can see what's going on the mini-map. It looks like the enemy tanks that went the south route are trying to get at our teammates. And they're up almost through the passage. And we just lost the AMX ELC down to the south of us. And we can see an AEC down there. looks like their M44 got our AMX-ELC, and we just got shot in the rear by an A20. And that looks like a 57mm gun. Okay, can we get that guy? No, he's pulled back into cover. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Yes, this tank was made famous, but it's Thunderbolt VII, which means that Lieutenant Colonel Abrams actually had 6 more tanks before he had this one. And that's true of Lafayette Poole as well. He had a tank called In the Mood, and all of them were called In the Mood, but he had, I think it was over 5 tanks that were called In the Mood. And his first one was a standard 75mm M4. And then after he lost that one to damage, he actually was given a 76mm, the M4A3, and nice shot. And after that, of course, he didn't want to go back. He actually used the 76mm, and when he was actually using it in action, it finally got damaged. Ouch! That was the M44. It was finally damaged, so what did and they were going to hand him back the 76mm gun, so what did he do? He took it out and deliberately wrecked it, so they had to give him another 76mm armed vehicle. So yeah, a bit naughty, but yes, you can see where that Arty round from the M44 hit, right the side of the turret. It was very naughty of him to do that, but yes, he just wanted the 76mm because he realised it was so much more powerful. And of course, Lafayette Poole was famous for being one of the best American aces during the war. He got 12 tanks, including killing 4 Tiger tanks that were actually tied down on railway carriages being moved from one place to another. And the crews were frantically trying to get those Tigers into operation whilst they were on the railway carriages, and he just swatted all of them one by one with 76mm rounds, so they were completely blown up and on fire, and their crews had to desert them. Well, the enemy have managed to get into our camp area, and although we've got a Panzer D3al3r, he's been wiped out. So now there's, what, 4? Is it 3 enemy tanks around the corner? Okay, well, we've got an M4A376 wet, a Panzer D3al3r, and it looks like he's got the fat 105mm main gun. Whoa, we narrowly dodged one there. And the M4 bounced one off us. And there's a KB1 as well. And the 76 manages to get a shot into us. Remember, we've got the extra armour, he doesn't. But this Panzer D3 kept trying to poke round the corner and pump around into us, and we blocked the shot. Yep, that is the 105mm. So 350 alpha for him. Okay, he's auto-aimed on, pumps around in. Okay, here comes the M4A3, and he's pumping 8G rounds at us. So he's not going to get very far with that, because he only got 7 hit points. Okay, the Skoda's coming in from the south, so he's going to help us. And we just got to keep these guys at bay to stop them having a go at our Skoda. Okay. As you can see, we get a big red arrow on the target we designate. And there's the M4, and we killed him in the next round. But he did hit us with one. Another 8G round for only 6 hit points. Now we just got to kill this guy. We get 1 round in. We still need at least 2 rounds to kill this Panzer D3. That fat Cupola is an easy target if you can get it. But he's moving about a lot to avoid getting hit. We should be able to get him 1 more after this. Oh, the Skoda did it for us. Okay, so we're in business. Now we just got to find the KB1. And the question is, where did he go? Yes, Lafayette Poole actually became an instructor after he was wounded. One of his crew was changed at the last minute, his loader. And he went into action against the Panther. I think it was a Panther. Or another German tank anyway. And he... unfortunately, because the loader wasn't the usual loader that they used, not the hand-picked crew that Poole managed to put together, he was actually not as fast as his his colleague who was sent off to the medical centre, and because he was so slow, they actually took a shot and it took off one of Paul's legs. But he actually became an instructor back in America afterwards. As I said, Lieutenant Colonel Abrams, though, became Army Chief of Staff, so he achieved the rank of 4-star general in the end. And of course, that's why they named the tank after him. And those tanks seem to be doing rather well in a certain country in Europe at the moment. Apparently, initially they weren't handled correctly, but they are now starting to work, and the certain nation is starting to fear them, because whenever they pop up, they start killing enemy tanks. Same with the Leopard. Okay, no sign of this KV-1. I'm surprised he managed to get this far so quickly, because the KV-1 is normally quite slow. I don't know which armament that guy has either. This could be difficult if he's got the 85mm, although he'll be slower on firing. Ah, we found him. There we go. That is the 85mm gun, the long, same length barrel. You just lob that one into the ground. We're getting nice rounds into this guy. Oh, that one was out of sequence. Go for it. That's it. Now he's a one-shot. Next one will kill him. Yes! And that wins the game for Dealer. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for Dealer in the Thunderbolt. He managed to get a fire-thrower effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, shell-proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle and surviving the battle, and a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 7, and he got a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks or more. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Confederate hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and in fact you have to scroll the page to see all the targets he hit. And on top of that, he got the Steel Wall for blocking more damage than anyone else in the battle, at least 11 hits, and yes, he definitely got more than 11. His win rate was 8,046, which is super unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, definitely the highest damage, 2,707 hit points went to Dealer. Second highest damage in the game went to the KV-1 on his own team, who managed 1,686. And the third highest damage, well, that actually goes to the KV-2 on the enemy team. We never saw him. He got 1,431 hit points of damage, but he was probably killed on the South Parcel trying to get up towards our cap area. So yes, we didn't see him, but we definitely saw his next in damage, and that was the M4A3E8 wet. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the Skoda. He was doing a lot of kill stealing in that game. He actually managed to get the kill steal on the T3485M, and he stole the Panzer IV H. And I think he got a few others as well during the game, but it's all okay, because even though he actually took 1/3 of the enemy team, he actually saved us from getting hit by a 105mm round from that Panzer IV at the last moment. 3 kills went to Dealer, and also to the M4A3E8 wet on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Panzer D3al3r on our team, the KV-222, who did survive, mainly because they're so slow, and also the KV-1 and the Shure on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it's Dealer. Yep, 1,374, easily a nice high score. In fact, the only player to manage to get over 1,000 base in the game. 792 went to the Panzer D3al3r, and 752 went to the KV-1. He managed to fire 42 rounds. Well, this vehicle carries 71 rounds in total, because of course it's the 76mm, and they did carry a lot of ammo. 33 direct hits onto the enemy, but only 25 of those were penetrations. You saw some of the ones where he bounced off the hull of the P43 Biz, and it's a good job actually that Panzer IV H went on our team, went round the corner to try and deal with him, because he was being very difficult to pen down, plus the fact that he did have a 90mm gun. 2,707 hit points of damage, of which 1,137 rather were up more than 300 meters. So most of the damage done at close range. 17 hits received from the enemy. That's more than qualified for the steel wall, because you only need 11 for that, but he got 17 hits on him. 3 of those penetrated, 11 non-penetrations, some 4 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, the Arty was having a great time slamming shells into us, and unfortunately for that poor M41, he got tagged as he was going past, and well, after he fluffed his shotgun, then he got taken out. But it was the M44 that was actually putting the rounds into us and making life difficult. 2,495 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 333 hit points of spotting assist. He earned a profit of 7,029 credits from the game, because he did spend a lot on ammo, and he also took away 4,740 experience points out of that one as well. But it is a fun tank if you can know how to play it correctly. You do have to do a bit of angling just to get the extra bit of armor off it, because, as I said, it's only 123mm at the front, and some of the enemy tanks are firing 90mm rounds at you, and yes, they can penetrate if they know where to put the shells. You just need to know where the slabs of armor are and aim for the right spots. Certainly, if you come across one of these and they're using a ridgeline, you should try and go for that cupola if you can. If you can't get the cupola, then try and get the shell underneath the slabs of armor, and that may be able to help you to get the pens. But it's very difficult to take down Thunderbolts, and even when they're head on to you, you have to remember the weak spots, which are the machine gun ports, driver's ports. Those are the only places really on the front that are actually vulnerable. Everything else is pretty solid. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.